We're out here having a good time.
I know, sorry.
Calm
Hate to break up a good time, but I wasn't going to whistle, not in a small room. Good morning and welcome to all of you. Thank you so much. It is so nice to see everybody. You know, it's been a while since we've had what I would call a regular before hours, and this one feels very regular. So we're grateful to you for having us in. Of course, Jeremy Lorraine over in Web Design. So thank all of you for being here. If you don't mind, I'd like to just briefly. Our mayor is here. Dana, good morning. Dana walked in a minute ago and it almost startled me. Whoa! I say that in jest, but it's
He must have smelled food.
It's because everything's always real quiet with me, right?
peaceful and easy. We appreciate you being here this morning. Anything you want to make the crowd aware of?
Welcome, and keep doing what we do, networking and growing our city and doing all those positive things. That's what brings people here. It's amazing to me, being mayor, how people get to New Bern, hear about New Bern, and you know what they do when they get here. They fall in love with it.
Yeah. I thank you for saying that. Well, we do appreciate you.
Unless they're reading the paper. You know.
Well said. So with that said, Jeremy, one of our board members at the chamber, been a friend. He and his family really have been friends to this market and certainly our chamber for a long time. So we're grateful to you for having us in. Take it away.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Thank you all for being here. This is our 10th year of business, and we wanted to celebrate that. And Marianne and I were talking about what to do, and then this time frame came up to be available for before hours, and that just seemed to be a good fit for our location. And so I was thankful for that. Thankful for the opportunity to do that. 10 years is crazy. We had to look and figure out how long I'd even been in the building. Tom thought a couple of years, I think. I had to go look for my paperwork. I actually moved here in 2017. But that takes me back to where I was before, and why I have my distinguished guest, Mr. Bobby Bell, here today. Long story short, I graduated from NC State as a biology guy. Worked in pharmacology, cancer research for 10 years, took me to Colorado. A son born in Longmont, Colorado, brought us back to Eastern North Carolina to be closer to our family. And so there, my science kind of went away. If y'all know about Eastern North Carolina, I wouldn't want to do that here much. So I ended up, I was Mr. Mom for Marianne for about 2 years, or she might say maybe it was longer anyway. Took care of my son, helped her establish her business here. And after things kind of got going a little bit more, I ended up taking a job at Jenkins Gas and Oil. Y'all remember Jenkins Gas and Oil, which how many iterations away now is Suburban, but went to change to IT and basically doing IT nationwide. As things go, companies were sold again a few more times, and I ended up laid off. So I had been playing with this website stuff a little bit for Rotary Club, for church, et cetera, and enjoyed it. And after getting laid off, it was like, well, what am I going to do now? So it just seemed like the right thing to do. And so 10 years later, we're still doing that. But Mr. Bobby Bell came to me and offered me a proposal, a too good to pass up proposal. He had a little room in a little house back behind his office, and offered me some office space, which was a saving grace at the time because I didn't have good internet where I lived. And
No, you didn't.
but I do. As of last week, I do. Talk to me about Starlink if you want to later on. But anyway, Bob, you had an office behind your building, which is now basically Harris Teeter, for lack of a better way. You all know where that is.
That's when I retired.
So there was a little bit, we knew it was coming down the pipe, we just didn't know exactly what we were going to do. But what, you want to say anything about why you were crazy enough to let me sit in your office in the back for a little while?
I am still internet stupid. And I had a whole bunch of computers. And I was the one in the office that had to try to fix them when they went down. And I usually got it done, but it took a while. So I went to Jeremy, I said, you're trying to start a business, you're trying to work with no internet, and you and your wife are trying to work in the same house at the same time.
With no internet.
And that's not a pretty sight. So I've got an office, I got telephones, I got power, air conditioning. Come use this office for as long as you need it. I'll furnish it all to you, as long as when I need you, you'll come up and fix the computers. And I think we did that for 5 or 6 years.
It was like 5 years if I did the math right on the other thing, which I can't believe it was that long there. So
yeah.
Anyway.
But that's how he got started, and I got relief.
But you're right. You retired at that point, and I was done. But anyway, everybody here is part of the community. Everybody helps everybody else, and I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for folks that believed in me in the beginning. I've still got clients from day one, and of course people come and go. But I think the thing that's important about the chamber is just that everybody's here to help, and y'all came out this morning at 7:30 in the morning to help and support my business and to get out and visit and see everybody else. So I appreciate the chamber, and been good being on the board. Definitely a different side of things that, I mean, you don't know. I mean, everybody doesn't know what goes on, even though you've got it out there. It's just nice to be involved, and I appreciate the contact with the community, and just everything. Everybody comes into different pieces of that. So, but I would encourage y'all to continue to be involved, and Phil, you're always getting on us about not going to ribbon cutting, so I've tried to be better about that. I did go better, especially as board members, but as chamber members as well. You mentioned how important it is for folks to go and support that, especially new businesses. It's good to know that folks are out there, and that people are noticing them. So thank you.
Just like your little thing you had with him. That's so important at that point in time when you're starting that business. You need somebody there to reach out again for.
Yep. So
And we appreciate it.
So thank y'all.
You covered that about as well. You could teach a class on running through the history and we're from the beginning to where we are now. So thank you for doing
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, I mean, my son's getting ready to graduate from state, and you know, it makes you reflect on a lot of things. And I mean, I'm doing something that didn't exist when I was in school.
Yep.
So I mean, you put that in perspective and think, okay, well, Josh, you got to get a job, and how are you going to do this? And it's like, whatever you do is fine, but it's going to change 100 times. I mean, and all of us are.
And what
Everything's
goes around, it's gonna come back around the same way. I gotta tell this story.
It'll be lunch.
Mother-in-law and daddy-in-law.
Can I get one of these chairs?
And we were going up to, Pisgah. And, the road was kind of windy. And Earl wanted to lead, I let him. I took up the rear. Well, when we got to the top, after going through some major